Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to my atmospheric cafeteria. Um, Still working on that same cup of coffee. If you saw my last two readings, I was called to do a moonology reading, so I am going to do that because the goddess Saraswati has asked me to do that. You can feel her here. I feel a couple of other spirits here, about 4 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4 goddess. And a couple others. Lovely little atmospheric cafeteria. It's like a junior high school cafeteria all up in here. Also, if I repeat myself a lot, I do forgive please do forgive, because as I've said before, we always do that, don't we? Anyway, so here we are, and we're pre-shuffled, and got a little music going on, a little bit of just relaxing music to go. Changes. We got changes. Changes. And I see the number 5, and I see orange. I see that 5 is orange. Yes, I see things in color. So, okay. What we got? Okay. What else we got? What else we got for the collective? I'll just throw that up there while we're... What else have we got? What else do we have for everybody? Oh. Okay. Let's see where these are going. Let's throw our glasses over here. Okay, let's see where we're going here. Let's see what else we've got. I feel like we need to do another more little shuffle. Actually, I was getting phenomena. Because you can do both, but usually it's phenomena. But when I was saying it in my head, it came out phenomena. So maybe you guys have something going around in your house. Stuff moving around. Are you moving it, or is something else? Sometimes when we're coming into our gifts, you'll feel a little bit more sparky. Things might fall a little bit more when you go past them. You're just sitting there going, there was no breeze. Everybody's different. Or you just love the movie Phenomena. Phenomena's a good movie. Like I said, it's not... Ooh. Support. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, let's see what we've got. I feel like my hands were moving too fast. I feel that. Help meant to be, release knowledge, strength, support, and release blocks. Ooh, we've got something going on here. that help? What's going on with you guys? It's March coming up. Coming into Pesce season. That's not what this is about, though, is it? What's going on here? Let's take a look for a sec. Internal struggle. I just got the words internal struggle. Yin moon. We have the yang moon. This makes sense. Yep. You know, we have yin and yang. Obviously, male and female. Hello, Ascorino. Ciao, bambini. Ciao, bambino. Si. Avante. No, avante. Come here. Wrong words. Come here, baby. You gotta come up. Come on. I'll lift you. Yes, come. You gonna sit with me? You put my legs down, maybe he'll come up. I might have to run away for 2.5 seconds. Come here. No, he'll come if he wants. So we have the yin and the yang moon. Yin and yang. You know what? Hold on 1 second. Running away for minutes. I'm back. That's much better. Sometimes y'all just gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Sit right back down without destroying everything. Come on up. What would you like, dear? Ow! Okay, well that was my fault. And no one else's. It was my fault and no one else's. Didn't go into anything. This is good. Okay, now that I've wasted enough time. Come here, Bum Bum. Mwah. Okay. Get my legs up. Y'all know what I'm saying. You gotta be comfortable, right? You gotta be comfortable. Let's see what we got here. We got Purring Kitten. And a Stinky Butt. He's my favorite Stinky Bun, though. So we gotta accept help. Meant to be knowledge, strength, support, release blocks. Those are the yin moon, moon called drawing down the moon, yang moon, moon circles, the falling moon. Now, obviously, don't always look everything into everything and just kind of listen and let it wash over you without putting anything really together. If things seem to float together, just let them go and let them float and don't interact with them. This is also how I meditate, to be very honest. I don't meditate by finding a pinprick of light and focusing. I meditate by closing my eyes, and everything that wants to run through my head, I let it run through my head and I do not interact with it no matter how bad I want to. You know, if it's like mom's got an appointment at the doctor's tomorrow, I have to remember this. I do not stop to remember it. Now, obviously, if it's the kind of thing where you're like, you know what, if I don't write this down now, I really won't remember it. That's a whole other subject than anything else. You know, if you haven't written it down 55 times, if you've meant to write it down 55 times, write it down then. But if it's just like the appointment was made 3 days ago and it's not for 3 weeks, this is not that time. So you do that, you close your eyes, and everything that's in your head that your brain wants to think about, you just let it wash over you. And you don't interact with it, because at some point your brain needs a break and it needs to process all of this new information that your eyes take in. Because a lot of times when you're neurodivergent, you take in a lot of information at one time. You know, it's like, you know how you have the cameras that will take like 1 million pictures a second? That's a lot of times the way our brains are. We often have photographic to semi-photographic memory. The problem is we can't always focus everything. But once you can focus, then you can go back in your files and you can remember anything, because we all know we can remember it all if we really, really try to. But sometimes it just takes time to unlock it, you know, and let's face it, some things you're just not going to remember, okay? At the end of the day, a lot of the things that we can do, and we know we can do, there are just some of us that can't. I will always struggle to give people back 4 quarters for $1 and not give them 5. There are other people with dyscalculia that will always struggle with 1 + 1 = 2, but will always be fine giving back 4 quarters for $1 and not 5. See, we all have our separate struggles. And this leads us to accept help. Hey, kitty. Come here. Want cuddles? Come here. Hey. Hey, come here. You want to come over? You want to come over, sit here? Yeah, and then if you want to, you can come over here and lay there if you want. Yeah, we'll sit here for a little bit and come over. Yeah, they're right here. Yeah, the collective's right here. He's deciding. But either way, we have accept help and we have strength. And we have the yin and the yang, the male and the female. The imperfection and the perfection. Yes, because it's wabi-sabi. Wabi-sabi is the imperfection with imperfection that makes perfection perfect. You know, diamonds are pretty, but a flaw in a diamond is prettier, because that makes that perfect. That makes that imperfection makes that perfection perfect. I know that doesn't necessarily make sense. But basically what it comes down to is that to be perfect, you have to understand. To be strong, this is, yeah, wabi-sabi. Strength and acceptance, yin and yang. In order to be strong, okay, you have to accept help. In order to be strong, you have to accept help. And sometimes you even have to ask for help if you need it. The yin and the yang, the balance. You see? Without one, there is not the other. But you have to balance that, you know? The light and the dark. The yin and the yang. And with wabi-sabi, to be perfect, to be strong, you have to at some point accept strength. In order to be perfect, at some point you had to have had a flaw. There just isn't a choice, because between acceptance and strength, there is what is meant to be, and there is the knowledge that you're gaining, and the knowledge that you're gaining is what is meant to be, which it gives you strength. And there's strength in numbers. You know, over in here you're sitting by yourself. You're not asking these people for help. You're not asking to be lifted up. You should ask yourself why you're afraid to ask for support. Why you're afraid to fall into that moon. Because that moon down there, that's support. You see that moon? It's right above this person who's very, very dark. And if you look at it, it's almost like he fits right in there. You see? It's like he fits right in there. Right in there. And you see, there he is in the middle. But he has to ask for that. Because if you don't, then you can't gain that knowledge. So why won't you accept help? Think about that question. Think about the kind of support you need. Sometimes it's just you don't accept help because you don't know what kind of support to ask for. Sometimes it's as simple as just writing it out. You know, what are the list of things I need? What is the support I need? What will help give me strength? What will help me gain knowledge and release blocks? So you can be where you're meant to be. Oh, Ernie's not in here. Let's see. Yeah, I do have that strength. You do have that strength. You don't think you do, but you do. Just have to draw it down. It's kind of like you have to and dance by the light of the moon. You have to lasso the moon Sometimes you have to bring it down to you. But I do on some level. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 moons out here. 9 moons. I probably have more than that because I can't count. You know, there's something here too about strength in marriage with the yin and the yang. And marriage, I don't mean marriage as in legal, I mean marriage as in unity and partnership. I might have to draw a couple tarot to clarify this. Goddess, do we have any other cards we would like to bring out? Got you. Got you. Okay, so it looks like there's a set of divine humans there's a set of divine humans that need each other. One brings strength to the other one. Seems to be a new relationship, and it seems to be you seem to be a little afraid of this, and you're having trouble accepting this because this is very new. This is new. This is something where you're going to accept help from someone that you wouldn't normally, and you're not someone that accepts help. Not that you'll do it all on your own, but yeah. But doing this, having this faith in this person is going to release blocks. And you're being given the go-ahead. They're telling you to go for this. Whatever this is, and you'll know who you are because this isn't a gaslighting situation. This isn't a bad situation. This isn't, you don't have any red flags in this situation. I'll tell you that right now. This is not a red flag situation. This is a green flag situation, and they're saying to go for it. Now, if you are pining after someone and you're hoping whatever, yeah, this is not for you. You've been seeing this person for a little bit, and you are afraid to fall, to go into transformation. Because at the end of the day, the only way to do that is to release blocks. And the only way to release blocks is to face your fears. And the only way to face your fears is to accept help, ask for support, gain knowledge. Because that's the only way that you can heal. You can get better. You can get the things that you need to get. You know what I'm saying? You have lots of support in the moon. You might really be associated with it. Like, you might have friends where you like all talk about the moon. You even have a moon tattoo or necklace. You have a lot of support there, especially on the other side. And this person's going to need help just as much as you do. Because remember, whatever yin you have here, you also have yang. And whatever yang he has here, he has yin. So whatever help you need, you have an opposite strength. And whatever strength they have an opposite need for help. You know, it's one of those things where meant to be and knowledge come together because... yeah. Because knowledge is meant to be, and that draws down the moon, which brings in strength and acceptance and help. Should I go straight to tarot now, or do you want me to... What are you thinking? And you do have circles of support. Not everybody has big circles, and that's okay. You don't need big circles of support. You are perfectly fine with small ones, you know? 2 people can be your support system. 3 people can be your support system. One person can be your support system. Grab these babies. Wait, I don't need these 2. Do I want to keep that in there? Why would I keep that in there? No, I feel like I should. Maybe. Yeah, I'm just going to keep it in there. Who cares? If it comes up, there'll be a reason. There will 100% be. My goodness. Okay. All right. What do we got here? I just shuffle however many times I'm told to shuffle. It's like a, I don't know, it's like an inner voice. It's like that inner voice that tells you to do something, but not the one that tells you to jump off the bridge. And it's not the one that tells you not to. It's the one that sits there and looks at you and says, well, what are you going to do? and then let's make your own decision. It's that voice for me. So Spirit, let's clarify this. You have a lot of transformation going on too. But this is really a time of ascension for everybody who wants to ascend, and the time for descension for those who are not doing the work. And be forewarned, if you're not ascending, if you're not doing the work right now, you're not going to ascend, period. You're done. And not just in this lifetime, but I believe for they say it's going to be some time. I don't know. They show me like a pile up of cars on the highway of life, and you're there, and it's a mess. Not grounded enough to plant yourself in, and nothing is going forwards. It's a lot of cards. It's all a mess. So with that, yeah, that's. But this, let's clarify this a little bit. Hey, puppies. He wakes up, so I let him know I'm here and he's loved. And face your fears. Facing your fears is huge. And by facing your fears, it doesn't mean like bulldozing into something that's scary. It means realizing it's scary and not bulldozing into it. You know? You know you need to lift the moon, it's scary, so rather than lifting the moon, you look at the moon and you think about it and you figure out how to do it so that you can do it without hurting yourself, you know? And yeah, exactly. Right, like the moon falling on Chewbacca. If anybody gets that reference. The Hierophant. Okay, all right. We have the Hierophant reversed, Queen of Coins, the Empress, and the Queen of Cups. A lot of energy. The Hierophant is a card of study. But a lot of times for me, the Hierophant, when it comes out reversed, it usually means that you've been in the library, you've studied, you've done all the things that you need to do. And not that you've studied, not that you don't need to gain more knowledge, but right now you've gained the knowledge that you where was it up here? Yeah, knowledge right there. You've gained the knowledge that you need, and you're getting dumped out of the library. You've learned enough at this college. You have to graduate from here now. You can't be a super senior anymore, okay? And that is throwing you straight into your Queen of Coins, the Empress, and the Queen of Cups. Because you've done this much studying, they're dumping you out and it's trifecta. Yeah. See, and this is the thing. Where is that? Releasing blocks. These three talk about releasing blocks. This time here in the library studying released all these blocks. And because you released all these blocks, you were able to transform into this. I mean, this is carrying to such a degree on a spiritual level that it's almost angelically godly. Like, it's like God came down and kissed your forehead and said, there you go. Here's all this goodness. And that's because you're facing your fears. And that's what allows you to be brave enough to go for it. Because whatever you're stepping into is going to be kind of scary. Whatever you're stepping into is very new. Like a gray wall is thrown up. And what I like about this is it's not just balance of the yin and the yang. It's the yin and the yang within you. I mean, this isn't just the yin and the yang as in you and your partner. This is just the yin and the yang within you. So where there is the level that there is a partnership, there is also the actual level of this is you balancing the yin and yang within you so that you can balance you're balancing your emotions. And it's so, so very, very important. Because for so long you weren't so balanced. And not as balanced as you wanted to be, but now you're more balanced. And this will bring you more balanced relationships. Because right now you've learned what you need to learn. You have learned all that you need to learn right now. You know? And I'm going by my meaning of the Hierophant right now because that's what is speaking to me. What the heck was that? The heck? Yeah, everything is turning around. Turning around. You're seeing the flaws and they're getting turned around. Temperance on the bottom of the card. You're tempering. You have tempered that 10 of Swords and you have given it justice. You have laid down the conflicts. Yeah. You have laid down the conflict into justice. And you have tempered your 10s. Your 10 of Swords. which is nice, because one of the thing about the the swords, I always say is that yes, you can go from 1 to 10, but from my experience, I've noticed that a lot of times, depending on the person, obviously, and the heartache, you often start at a 10 and you're going backwards, because the 10 is the tragedy and the 9 is the acceptance, and the 8 is the being in solitude to grieve, and the 7 is, and then you just go down from there, and it brings you to the wisdom that you need. And right now you have like archangels, angels, guides, and people around you that are support, that are helping you temper this 10 of swords. I mean, it's right there. And that is what brings you this balance. That's why you have balance, because you're able to temper that 10. You're able to look at that and go, okay, I can't be in those swords. You're able to face these fears that you have, because you know that those fears aren't getting you anywhere. They're not getting you anywhere. They're just taking you down, shorty. Shorty got low, low, low. Yeah, see? Yeah. It's bringing you down. It's not bringing you, yeah. It's only making you reflect on what you don't have, rather than what is right in front of you. Now, what you have right in front of you is not much. This is the 5 of Cups. This is not that much. This might seem more, but it's more tragedy than this. This is what you've got to look at. It's not much, but it's something. It's more than nothing. It's, because underneath that you've got your 2 of Cups. And this is what you want. This is the union. Whether it's union between a man and a woman, or just union between you and your own yin and yang. Because at the end of the day, you're looking back on this energy that is not balancing and supporting you. You're not balancing your yin and your yang. You're letting your emotions take over. You're letting your cups take over. And you can't let those cups take over. You can't, because you have to balance them. This is a lot of water. And the water needs this gritty earth to temper it. It needs that. It needs that little muddy to keep it a little bit more still. Because the thing is like, in reality and actual life, you really don't want a lot of dirt and water when it comes right down to it. But when we're talking spiritually, and you're talking about your spiritual water, on occasion, you really, sometimes you need to be in the ocean where you're flowing. And then sometimes you need to start going over to the little rivers and creeks and whatnot. And sometimes you need to just sit at the shore, and you need to put your feet in the mud. And you need to let that water recede, and you need to let that mud dry so it can ground you. Because that water can come back anytime and soften it. One of the big things I say is you've always got to sit in your own shit, and your own shit smells. And I'll tell you what, when you stamp that rod, I know I have a rod around here someplace. Maybe I don't. When you stamp that rod onto that ground, that's going to tell you how far you're going to go down into bullshit land. How grounded are you? But then too, don't forget, you can get overly grounded and be waist deep in your own mud, and never going to matter how much water comes up, because you're going to drown before you can get all of that mud unmuddied. And yes, that is Oscar using his litter. He's a good kitten. Ooh, happy boy. Tidy Cat Breeze litter system. I highly recommend it. But yeah, you are really coming into your own. Because you really do care. You are a nurturer, but you're also very emotional. And it was the 5 of coins that just flipped up and flipped back. And it was reversed. So it's like, you had help, but then you didn't have help. I can't quite. It's like it's showing me like a really odd opposite. Like you had help and then you didn't have. It's like you had help and then the door closed on you. And then you had to figure it out on your own. Which is weird because technically that would be well, maybe it's upright. Yeah, it might just, so it was, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, 4 of coins reversed. Yeah, because they were showing me the 5 of coins reversed and then it flipped over as if to say you had a momentary moment of having what you need and then it was taken away by greed. Do you have something moving your way though? You do have something moving your way. What else have we got? Hi, sweetie. Trust me, the cat is perfectly fine. He can jump up from the other side. He just chooses not to. And there's nothing over there either, so he can definitely get up on that side. I know it's the 5 of Cups, but the way he's turned around also reminds me of the Death card. I might even have mistaken this for the Death card the other day. So there is this big change coming. I mean, 5 is changes anyway, so 5 is kind of like the Death card anyway. There's this giant change coming up for you guys. Ooh, yes, 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 do come up. I love Baba. I'm gonna feel your armpit real quick because I thought I felt something. And mommy doesn't want to forget because I'm hypochondriac mommy. Nah, you're fine. Get yourself an orange tabby, they're perfect. You've had a lot of big changes. And I'll tell you right now, I think everyone is kind of going through, seriously, really, this is, do not do that. That is unsanitary and gross. Excuse me. I love you. You've been going through a very, very major growth pattern. I think everyone is. Like I've said before, there is a group of people where everything went everywhere and rather than jumping off to the left, everything jumped beyond back to the right. Oh my God, we have 2 5s up here too. Which brings a 10, which is ultimate completion. We've got another 10 there too. It's a 20. There's also something about being cold. I don't know if that's cold towards somebody or you had to turn cold towards somebody in order to rescue yourself. But you've gained a lot of knowledge. And I feel like this is just quick knowledge. Like, even you're ridiculously shocked at the quickness of this knowledge and how it's affecting you. I would almost say you're actually kind of shocked at how you're facing your fears and how you're moving through them. Might even have yourself a little coven of witches. Spirit. I'm not good at that yet. Spirit, do you have any advice for the continuum? They seem to be going through a lot of change. This seems to be very difficult change. You guys might even be hearing like a little extra humming in your head. If you have no medical reason for it, it's probably just a little bit of ascension or a higher frequency that you're falling into. For me, sometimes it can mean someone's talking about me, but not always. It doesn't always mean anything like that. You'll always know when it is, because you'll be able to tell anyway. Can always tell when people are talking about it. Yep, always. So your frequencies are changing and they're getting higher, which means you're, excuse me, pardon me, elevating in life. Might have to visit the loo. Excuse me. I really don't want to lose this channel though. I go off to the loo as well. And so the knowledge that you're gaining, you're expanding further than the people around you, including your friends, your family. There'll be a lot of people that you're just going to drop off because you're just tired. You know, you're tired of the bullshit. You're tired of the crap. You need a little peace in your life. And if that means that you're taking yourself away from people for your own peace of mind, then that's what you're doing. Can't, you know, argue with that, can I? Woo, that was a spicy spirit coming on in there. Oof. Yeah, because you're doing it all. Carrying all the burdens, and you're ready to let those sticks drop down. What advice do we have for our continuum here? What do we have for our planetary cafeteria? What do we got? What came up? Ooh, the Chariot. Okay, let's see what else we got. What else we got? Ooh. Scheisse. My. Tired of carrying those burdens, aren't you? I will return. I will return. We're going to talk about these burdens you're shouldering in a minute, because they're taking you. They are hurting you. Moving the dog's water. Why I have them so close, I don't know. It's because I tempt fate. Don't be me. Don't be me. Although my cat's watching me and he's very proud. He loves me. He loves me. I know he does. thing in the other room is Bluey playing Oops for the dogs. Oh, hello there, Beaner. Baby Beans. Yes, I'm gonna have to move you. Yes, this is true. I'm coming back to talk about the fact that there's something big going on. This is to let me know what was going on before, which is basically that I'm going to sit down on a cat, and we're just gonna deal with that. It's gonna be all right. He'll either move, or he won't move. Yeah, come here, honey. Yeah, why don't you sit in mommy's lap? Yeah, come here. So, I gotcha. Hey, Yev Yev. So I'm not gonna lie, there's like big stuff going on. Might be a part 2 to this. No, maybe not. At the end of the day, you're really tired of shouldering all the burdens in this, and it looks like there is... I love you, Mr. Purveyor. There you go. I have the world upside down. And, the fact of the matter is, what the universe would like you to know is that the reason why you're moving into either two people are moving into yin and yang togetherness and moving on and growing and going forward. That's one aspect. It's a very small aspect of this, and it'll be for very few of you, like 3 people that need to hear that. But this is telling me what is going on with you, why you are within yourself gaining your own yin and yang knowledge. And that is because there has been a lack of unfairness and a lack of accountability on someone else's part due to whatever reason that should be. I'm not even going to suspect it. But at this point, you're tired of shouldering these burdens. You're just really tired of it. Whoever this is, whatever it is, you decide. You know what this is. You don't even have to decide. You heard it. It came in your head. You already know. You keep thinking there's forward movement. You keep thinking there's more there than what there is, but you know you're shouldering all the burden. You know you're doing all the work, and this other person is not. They say that they're giving, they seem giving, they do stuff, but there's no movement. There's no nothing. It's just stagnancy, and it is literally turning your world upside down. It is driving you crazy because you have absolutely no control. Your heart is in free fall. It is constantly breaking, and you are completely and totally upside down. And the worst part is this free fall brings you into this huge sudden awareness. And it's a sudden self-awareness. And it's not necessarily a sudden self-awareness that you want. By the way, I love you, and I don't know, yes. Anyway, I love you, and I know you hate me. You're all right. I know you won't hate me forever. She knows who she is. Because honestly, I did not expect that to come out of my mouth. But this has driven you into this need of self-sufficiency, of being your masculine within your feminine or your feminine within your masculine. It's bringing you to a point of personal they, them, personal union, personal, however you're going to feel about your body, you're going to feel about your body, and you're going to have this self-acceptance. This is what that's bringing. Because this is what you need. You've needed this for a long time. A lot of people have. A lot of people have. This has been coming for a long time. And there are bursts and pockets of people that this happens to. And this happens to people like you get older, a burst of realization. I mean, it starts at 42. Burst of realization pops in. You grow, you learn, you turn 53 and you start going through old albums from the 80s and realizing, oh, wow, this whole album is good. Why didn't I listen to this before? And then you discover new music. And that too is the thing. You need to discover something new because of the unfairness in your life. You need this justice to be tipped right up, and you need that. You need, because this is 11. This is a new beginning anyway, and this is where you're headed to, is a new beginning. If people in the past are coming forward, they're going to come forward because they grew and they learned. And if they haven't grown and learned, they're not coming with you because this is not worth it anymore. I mean, let's be realistic here, okay? I have an 11, 2 10s, a 6, a 7. A 7 and a 3 is 10. A 6 and a 4 is 10. This is just all new beginnings in spiritual growth and balance. I mean, this is a whole new you. This is whatever you were 2 days ago. This is not you anymore. And this is going to be coming, they're saying, throughout the whole month of March. And be forewarned about it. It's like a triple Pisces. It's like the green triple goddess. Does that make sense to anybody? The green triple goddess? Oh, 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 green goddess. Did I drop them? Shit. 9 of Cups. You're almost there. I'm sorry about that. You are almost there. Seriously, like, you're going to be there by, like, I'm going to say April. And if you're not quite there by April, May, June. Obviously, every reading is timeless. So if you are watching this in, like, September, give 2 to 3 months out. I always say 6 months to a year because then you have extra time, but usually it's going to happen. It's going to happen in that time, and if it's not something you want, you'll be able to redirect how you want it. But this is 9. This is 9. You're almost there. You're almost there. Yeah, because your Empress is blocked right now. She's going to turn. So this is, you are coming into who you are supposed to be if you want to. Now, mind you, you might get scared and decide you can't do it and crawl backward and de-ascend. And you do not want to de-ascend because there's no growth in de-ascension. There's no growth. There's only stagnant. And the thing with de-ascension is when you're in the water and then you go to the slower pool, if you don't keep ascending to go to the lake where the water is not as choppy as the ocean, you're going to end up in a swamp. And not a good swamp, a dead swamp that's just murky and stinky and smelly. And who wants to smell? Can you just tell me that? I mean, a good smell. I mean, you feel like, I don't care. You want to smell stinky, but you get what I'm saying. You smell how it makes you happy. Okay. But this is a huge growth. It's a huge change in your life and what you want with, I'm so glad I left that in there. Yeah. 0. A full fall into the Fool. And not the old version of the Fool where he's an idiot, but this is, you know where that water is, and you know that that water behind is going to lead to a tide pool, to a lake that's going to be a lot calmer, a lake you can bob in, a lake you can float in, a lake where you can get new rules, boundaries, and limitations. I am shocked that that actually came out. That's so funny. Because I looked at this card and I'm like, well, maybe I need the pink side. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it'll mean rules, boundaries, and limitations. And that's exactly what it means. You're coming into a period of time where you're going to have new rules, boundaries, and limitations. And you're going to be setting them. And you're going to be looking at people and going, no, you're not doing that to me anymore. This is what I'm doing. And this is what I expect. Period. And it's not going to be the alpha male chud thing. It's not going to be the alpha female chud thing. It's going to be the balanced, listen, I know I'm an asshole, but I can call myself out and you don't have to be a jerk. Or, listen, I know I have my faults, but these are my rules, boundaries, and limitations as to how I expect to be treated, because I will treat you the same way. That's what it comes down to. And you're going to fall into the Fool because you are tired of falling backwards. And the only way that you can go now is to fall forward and to trust and to set new boundaries and to set new rules. Because if you don't do that, you're not going to be happy. You're not going to ascend. You're going to de-ascend. And I know people don't like to ascend. And I know it hurts. And I know it's hard. But if we don't do it, okay, you know those crotchety, okay, I'm gonna swear, like I haven't sworn before. You know those crotchety old fucks? The ones that scream, get off my lawn. The ones who are miserable about everything. They've always got to have the discount. I mean, they're just genuine goddamn fucking dicks. Assholes. People who are never satisfied with anything because everybody's shirked them, and no matter what you do, no matter how much free stuff you give them, they're never gonna be happy. If you do not ascend, you will de-ascend, and those are the people that de-ascend because they refuse to learn the lessons and move forward. They also, I have found in my experience, tend to be the people that live for a long time because the universe is giving them this chance time after time after time after time to learn, and they don't, and finally they just die. Now, there are people like my cousin who lived to be 101, and she never had to learn anything. Well, obviously she did have to learn stuff, but she was here to be the guide to the people that she was supposed to be the guide to, and she was supposed to be here for that long. Like, there was a reason, and it was to spread hope and love to the people around. And she did. She's absolutely delightfully wonderful woman. I loved her to pieces. Realizing that she was like 50 when I was born, and I'm like freaking out right now. So yeah, you are setting new rules, boundaries, and limitations because you're tired of having your world upside down. And it's not just this one time. This is not the first goddamn time. And you're sick of it. And you're tired of it. And you're done with it. And you are absolutely over all the bullshit. Yeah. You're taking your shit and you're moving to a better camp. You're going to leave the baggage behind. You see those two swords? Those two swords, that's your baggage. You're leaving the baggage behind. You're taking the shit you want and you're heading off to camp. Because now you're going to get the star. You're going to get your rewards. You're going to get all the things you need, the hope, the calm, the peace, the everything. But if you don't, that star will tip up down so quick it'll stab you in the head. But you want to ascend. You do not want to be one of those crotchety fuckers. And I know that you know who I'm talking about. I've been a cosmetologist for 25 years. The first year I was a cosmetologist, the one thing I learned is that if you were a crotchety fuck at 80, you were a crotchety fuck at 20. You just didn't learn a lesson in between. I can confirm this. Those who work with the public know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly. Like the... Yeah. Yeah, the angels don't come for them as quickly. They'd rather tip them upside down and blow hard in their ear. Oh my gosh. So, do I have anything else? Yeah. This knowledge is meant to be for you. This knowledge is what you are meant to be here to learn. So that you can grow better in your next life. So you can go back to the other side and explain it. Because remember, every time when we are called back to the other side by the universe at our time when we are supposed to go, we're there not only to learn for ourselves, but to be teachers to teach other people about how to do this, that, and the other thing. And that's what helps them grow. It's complex. It's like Tron. If you get it, you get it. You can do this, though. I see a lot of strength in you. I see a lot of strength in you. I see a lot of backbone. And I see that ditch over there where Yeshua and I are dragging you through the sand. Actually, I think it's a mud field. We were trying to stick in it for a while, but like we literally, like if you see, like we're all kind of like we're all muddy, and we're like literally like we have dragged you by the hair. Because we know you need this, and we know you want this, but the problem is that you have to mourn those things and get to that point where you're like, I'm ready for this. And it is a mourning process, okay? To release these blocks, to release these energies, it's a mourning process for your whole body. You know, it's your nervous system has to readjust. You have to get used to this. I mean, for some people, I'm being told this is going to be a sudden breakup. Like, you are going to think everything is fine, and it's sudden. And this is going to plunge you into it, you know? Also have to be careful not to ignore the signs too. You know, sometimes there are signs that are there that we just don't see because we're afraid. Yeah. Yeah. Reverse celebration. We have to accept our responsibilities for the good and the bad. You know, reverse celebration, I'm taking that as uncelebrate, as in you have to take responsibility for the things in your life, and part of that is the good and the bad. So if a celebration is a good thing and an uncelebration is a bad thing, this is saying that even after you break up, you have to look backwards and see, where did I go wrong? What could I have done better? What did I do that could have whatever? And then you have to step back, look at that, analyze, and then step back and readjust and figure out, how am I trying to say this? Heal yourself from doing those things if they were a big problem. Like for me, my first husband, he was not good with money. There was I could have given him like whatever was left over or whatever, but at the end of the day, there really was nothing I could have done that was really better, but there were minor things like that I could have done. At the end of the day, he just didn't want to be married. There was nothing I could do about it, and that's okay. I found someone better, you know? So that's what matters. Oof. Hi, pumpkin. So yeah, you know, you have to take responsibility for your own actions. You have to gain the knowledge because that knowledge is meant to be, because you're the one that has to ascend. You don't want to descend. You want to have patience and courage. You want to have patience and courage. Yes, yes, yes. Patience. Patience. Because if you take too many risks, you don't actually face your fears. You actually end up driving your fears inside because it's too many risks, because you're taking risks because you need to. But you have to have the patience and the focus. And I know it's really, really hard. But the way I explained meditation before, that will really help you with this. And I know it's hard. But for me, what I did was I practiced patience in small ways I could within my life that then helped me gain patience for other things. You know, it's those small things. The knife drops on the floor. Rather than getting angry, you breathe and you pick it up and go, okay, the knife dropped. This really sucks. And you just say it like that rather than getting angry, going, this sucks. You get calm and you go, okay, this really sucks. If I get angry, I'm just going to be in a rage, piss myself off, and be angry for 5 minutes. And why do I want to do that to myself when I can just wash this knife now or just put it in the sink and just be, you know, ticked off like this? It happens. It's a knife. It falls. And then the next time it happens, you're like, well, what the fuck? It's training yourself to have this patience. It's training yourself to feel the way that you want to feel comfortable within yourself and not the way that society needs you to. But a lot of this is, regardless who you are in your divergence or your normality, and I'm sorry, but neurotypical is not normal. It is. That's just my personal opinion. Don't take that as anything scientific. But yeah, it's important to, no matter where you are, and like I'm saying, if you're neurodivergent, if you're neuro normal, if you're neuro whatever, if you're a human, you have to do this. It doesn't matter. You can have Down syndrome and you still have to do this. Okay? And I know that they know that. They're always succeeding. God, tell ya, I love all my friends. But yeah, so you got to have this patience, okay? And you're going to be able to do this because you can face your fears and you can take the risk of facing your fears. You can take this risk of facing your fears. I know you have this in you. I have great faith and hope in you. Do you understand that? I have such great faith and hope in you, and I know that you can do it. Just think before you do. And if it's illegal, don't do it. No one wants to go to jail. You want to be able to go home and smoke your weed, eat your brownies, pet your dog, sleep in your own bed, and pee in your own shower, okay? So, I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to leave you also with some strength. Leaving you with some strength. Okay? Take a risk and have some strength. All right? Okay, so I love you all. And don't forget to accept that help. And thank you for visiting the cafeteria. And be good, behave, be happy, and be yourself. And good night, God bless you. And we really, really love you. Anyway, love yous, love your faces, and have happy dreams.